So, look at his choices. The people he has selected to run this foreign policy, which actually, besides Ukraine, it will also focus, or probably the number one focus of his administration will be the Middle East, i.e. the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. And he's very clear on that. So whatever actions the Trump administration or the new Secretary of State proposes or takes against Israel will not face much of a resistance within the United States. President Trump's choice of cabinet reflects his ideology, which is to make America great again. That is to strengthen America domestically and internationally. And he wants to do it in two ways. Number one, by controlling or curbing immigration to America and expelling or deporting illegal immigrants, and by projecting America's power on international issues. Now, how he wants to do it? On international issues, he says something that actually resonates with a lot of Americans. What he says is that America has enough economic and diplomatic options to project itself rather than actually using its military power. That there is no need for America to send its troops everywhere or to get involved in every conflict and start supplying weapons and sending money. He particularly mentions the ongoing war in Ukraine, where he thinks that it has now become a stalemate. America should stop supporting the war and they should find a negotiated settlement. And he believes that he has a strong enough relationship with the Russian leadership to actually work with them to end this war. And so, look at his choices. The people he has selected to run this foreign policy, which actually, besides Ukraine, it will also focus, or probably the number one focus of his administration will be the Middle East, i.e. the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. And he's very clear on that because he does not believe Donald Trump does not believe in this two-state theory, which is to Palestinians to have their own state, as the Jews, and that Israel and the proposed Palestinian state should live peacefully in the same area. He doesn't believe that it will work. He wants Israel to be the only state in that region, and he believes that the Palestinians should be persuaded to live peacefully within Israel. And so, how does it reflect in his choice for cabinet? Well, is the most important nomination in his cabinet for foreign affairs is obviously that of the Secretary of State, who the Secretary of State in America is like the foreign minister in the countries. So he has selected Marco Rubio, a known person, a U.S. lawmaker who also heads this Senate Committee on International. He's a member of the Foreign Relations Committee and heads the Committee on Intelligence. And he has very strong views on Israel. He's seen as a very strong pro-Israeli person here. He also has spoken about Islamophobia, and he has said in the past that there is no such thing as Islamophobia, and that America needs to combat militancy wherever it can. And so Trump, by selecting him, Trump has sent and also Marco Rubio is on record to have opposed the war in Ukraine, saying that it like Trump, he also believes that it has reached a stalemate and they should look for a negotiated settlement. So it is obvious that Marco Rubio will work on both fronts. That is, strengthening Israel, finding a solution to the Middle Eastern problem within a strong one Israeli state, and he will also try to end the war in Ukraine. He has strong views on Iran. He has strong. Well, he doesn't talk about Afghanistan anymore, but when he did, he was strongly in favor of America projecting his strength and his power and his military might in Afghanistan. So he is not somebody who would be shy of using America's influence in protecting Israel and making Israel stronger. The second most important person is the Home Secretary, whose name is Tom Homan. Now, that probably is, as far as the Americans are concerned, because Americans do actually take interest in foreign affairs when they have to. But unlike other countries, Americans do not focus on international relations as much as, I would say, as much as they should. They are always more focused on domestic issues. And the number one domestic issues for Trump and for many Americans is that of illegal immigration and illegal immigrants already living in America. And he has chosen a person, Tom Homan, who wants larger scale, who supports larger scale deportation, who wants to try to stop all immigration into illegal immigration into the United States. He would also, he has in the past bagged strengthening border walls and border fencings to prevent illegal immigrants from entering America. So he will definitely try to implement Trump's agenda on immigration. But the problem is not that simple. I mean, the thing is, America depends on immigrants from, I mean, their main concern obviously is that of immigrants coming from South American countries, what we call the Latinos, Latin American. And the fact is that about 40% farm labor in America is that of illegal immigrants, mostly those who come from Mexico and other Latin American states. And if you actually stop them from entering the United States, they come during the crop season, they work without work authorization, and then they go back. Some of them also never go back. But American farmers, because America is a huge country, it has thousands of acres of land, people have huge ranges, and they do not have enough manpower to do the farming for them, to do the harvesting, and to actually do other agricultural activities, and they depend hugely on workers from Latin America. So if you stop all immigration from Latin America, then America will suffer. Similarly, yes, what's his name? The new Secretary of State may have strong views on Israel, may be averse to the concept of Islamophobia and everything, but Islam is the second largest religion in the world, and there are almost 2 billion Muslims, and whosoever is the American Secretary of State will have to deal with them, will have to deal with the Arabs, will have to have good relations with Saudi Arabia and others. So it will be a very, I will say, interesting. It will be very interesting to watch how the new Secretary of State deals with the Muslim Arabs while continuing his strong views on Israel. On Iran, I think there will not be much opposition within America. Most Americans do not have a very favorable view of Iran. So whatever actions the Trump administration or the new Secretary of State proposes or takes against Israel will not face much of a resistance within the United States. Now, the pick for Secretary of Health, which is Mr. Kennedy, Kennedy Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, he's somebody who, at one point in his career, even suggested disbanding the Department of Health. He does not believe in vaccines. He thinks that medicine companies produce vaccines and medicines that encourage gay tendencies among children. He believes in all sorts of conspiracy theories. To have him as the Secretary of State will lead him into a direct conflict with very powerful medicine companies, and also it may actually create a lot of confusion within the health department and in the community of physicians and medicine makers. So let's see how that goes. And another key appointment is that of, let me see, Robert Kennedy. Yeah, the choice for U.S. ambassador to the United States, Stefanik. She is also known as a very strong pro-Israeli person. So there she will have no conflict with other members of the Trump cabinet. They will work together to promote promote the views of the new administration. She also is known to have shown sympathy for Russia and for ending the war in Ukraine. So I also do not see any trouble there. She will go smoothly with the new administration. Another very important nomination is that of Secretary of Defense, which has actually been criticized not just by the Democrats or those who dislike Trump, but even Trump supporters are surprised. And that is for the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, who is a journalist from Fox News, who has had no experience of running any large organization, who has no military experience, and he's been nominated to head the world's strongest military and to run the entire Department of Defense, to oversee the war and conflicts that America is engaged in, and that his appointment has been criticized by everybody. Most people do not seem to understand why he has nominated him. But there are some speculations about his nominations that Trump also knows that not all of them may get the approval. The presidential appointments like these, all the senior appointments, have to be approved by the Senate, by the relevant Senate committees. And they think that Pete Hegseth may not get the approval needed to make him the secretary. And similarly, as you said, Kash Patel may or may not get that approval. He is also a very controversial person who at one time spoke against FBI, and therefore some people are saying that some names have been put forward to see how the Senate reacts, how the nomination process goes. And while this process continues, Trump may come forward with other names that probably would be more acceptable to the Senate. So we have to wait and see. But overall, the people so far nominated for these cabinet positions are those who share Donald Trump's point of view on both domestic and international issues. And I think he will be able to run his administration according to his own wishes if he gets these nominations confirmed by the Senate.